I was in Kisatchie National Forest 2 years ago when I got River, and he was a baby. And I was in my RV, and I was camping along the river. And I took him, and I thought, well, okay, this is a place where there's no big alligators or anything, so I can, like, actually teach him how to swim. And I let him off leash, and I was letting him kind of run and play on the rocks and stuff. And then I saw a game warden come and start walking towards me. And I was like, oh no, like, I have River off the leash. I should probably get River back here. River was pretty young, so he responded to me, but if he saw another person, I don't know if he wouldn't just run up to the game warden. So I started yelling River. At first it was like, River, come here, River. And then it was like, River, 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 like that. And the game warden started walking right up to me as I'm saying it, and my dog was not listening to me at all. And then the game warden, in a voice that you reserve for like 5-year-olds, reached over and actually touched my shoulder, and he goes, it's a pretty nice river, isn't it? And it dawned on me that I was standing next to a river yelling River at a river. And I look back at him and I go, my dog's name is River, and he's right over there. He's not coming back. He goes, oh, all right. Oh, so funny. I thought about that because I saw the game wardens are out again this season, and they're coming around, and now I gotta yell River, and I'm living on a river. Yeah, it doesn't come across. It's weird. The difference between venomous and poisonous is if something's venomous, you don't want it to bite you. If something's poisonous, you don't want to bite it. So you can't eat something that's poisonous. But you can eat something that's venomous. A lot of people eat rattlesnake. You can actually get it at restaurants. Oh no, is that already a snake? Oh, look at that. Already, you guys. Yeah, look at that. And it's a thick one too. Yeah, now we gotta watch out everywhere we go. Look at that shit. The best part of the winter season here is no bugs and no snakes. Same thing in Arizona. No bugs, no snakes. Alright, so I take River to the vet, right? And she goes, he sits down, he lays down, and then he puts a paw up for her. So 3 tricks. And then she goes, does he know anything else? And I say to myself, you know, he knows a lot of shit. Like just now, he dropped a treat that he was working on for the last hour. He dropped it right out of his mouth. I said, no, leave it. And he left it, and he jumped right in the boat. And how many dogs, you know, can look right at the snake and not get out of the boat? You know, like, he knows a lot of things, just not like dog stuff from, I don't know, like roll over, stuff like that. So he knows which boat to get into, when not to get out of the boat. But I didn't say that to her, obviously. He knows how to chase off wild boar. Chase like 6 wild boar out of your camp, but then stop running at the edge of your camp. And by the way, he has a new camp every couple of weeks, so it's not like he has a fence or anything. He just knows not to go too far. Yeah. No, he doesn't know how to roll over. But the one time we came across a bobcat and I screamed, or the one time we came across that cottonmouth and I screamed, he turned around and came right back to me immediately. So he knows how to stay safe. And then when he saw the mountain lion, he didn't even think about chasing it. Didn't even hesitate. He sat there stone cold and looked at it. He knew right away that was not something to mess with. And then the coyote, when we were coming down Kentucky Lake, he sat there on the boat and watched that coyote in just complete silence. He knew it wasn't a dog. He just knew it. He's a smart dog. Just kind of like a copperhead, but it's the sun's hitting it just right to make it look that way too. So
because I snorkel, I've actually seen snakes go underwater too. Now it basically the same as turtles. They let a bunch of air out to go underwater. And if a turtle is at the top of the water and it's breathing in and out and you're underwater looking at it, the butt goes up with the breathing and the butt goes down when it's breathing out. So they're doing it with letting air in and out.
He's getting the last bit of sun before it goes cold for the night. So last night it did not even get cold in the slightest bit. So I'm going to do a little snake check before I let River out to go to the bathroom. The other day when I did this to check before I let Cricket out, there was a copperhead right here. I'm in my big old rubber boots. I'm pretty sure a snake could bite through it if it was like lined up just right. But I'm not planning on stepping on them. I just want to see if there's any right here before River comes pees out here. The other thing is I'm going to put River on a leash. Yeah. None of these snakes are big enough that they would ever look at, I don't think they would even look at Cricket as food, but they'll bite. They'll bite if something steps on them. Yeah, I don't see anything. All right. So I just went through here with I knew I was going to bring River out, and I wanted to just make sure there was no snakes. So I went through here with a paddle and hit the ground. And sure enough, I chased like a 2-foot copperhead right into the water right there. But what I want you guys to see, now I have River. I want you guys to see how River reacts to an area with a snake. See how he doesn't walk around real quick? Not that his face wouldn't get bit, but watch this. Watch him. I'm going to step and move his stick. You see how he knows? And this is where the snake went over. He knows the smell of the snake. I don't know that that means that it would stop him. I don't think that that means it would stop him from trying to bite the snake or getting in trouble. But I know he knows the smell of it. Look at, he's peeing there now. Yeah, and then it went right over there into the water. So everyone who says I'm not diligent and my pets will be caught by a snake, I did 3 or 4 walk-arounds this morning before I let them out. As I'm watching my pets, I'm seeing this one come up. Alright, I'm gonna cottonmouth? Baby rattlesnake? It's rattling it. It's a baby rattlesnake. See how it's rattling its tail? Get out of here. The fuck out of here. Go. That's a cottonmouth. Now let's rewatch that while I narrate it here. Essentially, I look out my window and I can see the snake coming down the beach towards my boat and where we go back and forth, where I can't have it. This is exactly where my cat was the other day just drinking. So
I go up and this is what I do with every snake. I stab underneath it with a stick or an oar or something until it wants to move. And then I also bang on the ground all the way around it because they feel by vibration. And the more you shake the ground and stomp the ground, the more they think you're big and heavy. So yeah. And then when it's here, it runs from the vibration. So I hit it. I hit again. I hit the ground. No, it doesn't go. So now I'm just gonna flick it. And I'll tell you, I've flicked. Most snakes end up being flicked 5 or 10 feet from me in the direction I want them to go, and then I chase them and they run, and it starts to work.
That's a cottonmouth. See, he's right there. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go hit him again with the. Well, okay, he's kind of going the other direction. Let's see where he goes. River, at this point, River has had interactions with 4 snakes that he didn't make contact with 2 of them, but he was, barking and touching, coming close enough where there was interaction, but he didn't bite him or anything. Then one snake he bit, and another snake he basically kind of dug up and bit. In those 4 interactions, he's learned a couple of different things. One, he doesn't go right up to a snake now. Pretty much he stands a couple feet back and barks at it. He also does an alert bark. So he treats it as if there's something really wrong going on and everyone has to stop what they're doing and look at it. This is the type of behavior that a lot of cattle dogs have. Some farm cattle dogs will walk right up to the back of the snake and shake it and kill it right away too without even thinking. He is not that way. He's frightened of them enough that he's been struck. A snake has tried to bite him a couple of times where he jumps back, and so now he does view them like a cat paw where it's gonna paw at him. So now my interactions, basically, I personally don't want anything to die ever. So I don't kill them. And coming from Wisconsin, a lot of the people that I know have a view that everything in nature has its place. You leave it alone, it'll be fine. Now that I actually live in an area where 3 of the snakes are highly venomous and can cause serious problems with your pets, I don't feel the same that every animal should get a pass, and if it's there, it should be okay. I feel like it should be out of my area. If I'm in a small 200 square foot spot, I'm gonna take a stick and hit that snake until it leaves my area, and hopefully it doesn't come back. I try not to do any permanent damage to the snake, but I don't want it there, And then my people who live here eat them. They'll, like, when they see a bunny rabbit or a squirrel or a snake, they shoot it and kill it and eat it, and that's their dinner. They don't have refrigerators. I live in an off-grid community, so anything they can kill that's less than a pound or 2, they're going to do it because they can eat it in one sitting, and it's not a waste of meat, and then that's what they do. The other thing is the group of people. I have a group of people who don't eat them and just straight up kill them because they think, well, if that snake didn't bite me today or didn't bite my dog or didn't bite my daughter today, tomorrow when we come back here it will. So there is a large group of people who just point blank think there's enough snakes in the world, we don't need venomous ones, and kill them on sight. I haven't gotten to that point. I know on my property when I saw the snakes on my property, I had no problem with my neighbor killing and eating it. So I don't know. Maybe I'm on the fence about that part, or I'm trying to figure that out in my life. But at this point in my life, when I'm in the wilderness, I push them away and I don't kill them myself. When my dog attacked that basically a 4-foot copperhead went after my cat, and my dog attacked it, and I found it all chewed up. I killed that snake. I didn't let it sit there and suffer. And who knows? Maybe it could have been bit by the dog 5 times and been fine with it. Who knows? So
during this springtime where the hibernation season is coming to an end and everything's hungry, not worrying about safety or anything, more worried about food, I'm actually going through my little 200 square foot area and making sure there's no snakes before I let my pets outside. Then every 2 hours or so, I walk around the borders and check. And then any motion or movement from the pets that I see that's awkward, I do that as well. What I have found from my extensive experience being outside with these animals is non venomous snakes automatically run anytime you come anywhere near them. They take off in a sprint. Venomous snakes make a big motion or try to get really big and large and then in some way show you they're there or make a noise to tell you they're there. And then they defend their ground. They do not turn and run typically unless you do something to make them run. None of them come towards you. I've never had a snake accidentally run towards me or come anywhere near me or in some way threaten me as long as I'm not right on top of the snake or stepping on the snake. So
I like to take River at sunset on little boat rides. Get back in the boat, buddy. Get in the boat. Come on. And I used to do it in the morning more, but now, I gotta be honest with you, now that the boat's on the beach, I just let them out and I don't go for dinghy rides in the morning. But when we were in the sailboat, I really enjoyed that part of having him in the dinghy was I would be on a beach 5 times a day. You know, the other thing is a lot of people teach their dogs to go to the bathroom on the boat. He doesn't do that ever really, because I like to be on the beach. So we would go every morning right before the sun would come up, and we would be on a beach watching the sun come up with the sailboat. Every single day that I was on the sailboat, we did that. And then every night, before it got dark, I would take him and watch the sun go down. And that was, I don't know, I miss that already. I miss that about the sailboat right now because it's so convenient to just beach your houseboat and you don't have to go anywhere. You just run along the beach. Yeah. You would think I could just go straight, but you can't. It's less than 6 inches deep. Your motor goes shallow. You have to go that way around the island to come out of here. The water needs to come up like another foot before we can go through there. So at this point, I've gotten kind of good at being able to, I know where I can stay for free and, you know, on land in the BLM areas. I know where in the United States I can go and if I have to move every 14 days or every 28 days, I know where those areas are. But I know places where I can park and there's no one around for miles. Whether it's the mountains or the desert or different variations of that. And then now I'm starting to know where there's little pockets of lakes and rivers that are all tied together where you can go miles and miles away from people and just park and live for free and no one even knows you're there, let alone cares. mean, this is turning into a gorgeous evening. River's upset because I haven't let him off of the boat, but once I saw one snake, now I need to be like off the boat with him when I get off the boat, or when he gets off the boat. Yeah, look at this. And then there's our little house. Right there. We built that, River.